Hello, it's Ashton Lewis.
And I'm Daphne Lynn.
And you are listening to the
NDE World Podcast.
Welcome to the NDE World Podcast. I am your host, Ashton Lewis. In the studio with me, I have my lovely hostess, Daphne Lynn. Hello, Daphne Lynn.
Hello, Ashton Lewis. How are you today?
Absolutely fantastic. As always, when I come into the studio, not just in the studio, but just life lately, period, just learning all of these different experiences and all these different perspectives from different things, it really, really opens up your mind, your heart, your spirit. And so that's what I really love about this show. We get to come in here and share these experiences with others so we all get to, learn and grow together. That's what I like.
Yes, me too. I definitely love doing this and sharing the knowledge, the wealth of wisdom that's out there available for those who are searching.
And things resonate. You'll know if you really learn to trust that gut feeling, that spirit, that intuition, the solar plexus, whatever you want to call it. You can really tune into things and learn to let that be your guide. Mm-hmm. You don't want something just flash, something that looks pretty to the eyes and flashy to the head and all. You got to really tune into that inside. You got to go with that. You got to look in, tune into that spirit.
Yeah, tune into that. That's the best way to always go within for answers.
True. That's the key. That's the key. Well, welcome everybody to the podcast. And those who are new, don't forget to go to the website. It's NDE.world for more information on who we are, what we do, and all of our podcasts and all that good fun stuff. Again, that website is
NDE.world.
Moving on along, guys. Okay, today's topic is something that, regardless of what you believe, you're going to have to experience it.
Right.
I am the bearer of good news, and that's what this means. This whole episode is about the subject of death. Okay, and before we get into it, Daphne, let's kind of like set it up. Okay, like we do everything, like with God, like with different subjects and things like that. I think what we need to do for most people is to sit down, if you were going to talk about death, and get clear on what that person's belief system is on death. Because I watch a lot of these people in these groups, it's like they get in these little mini wars or something, these little debates or something, and they're both right. I can see from different perspectives.
Sides, yeah.
One group said there's no such thing as death. We transition, we move on.
Right.
And the other one says, well, yeah, death is real, but maybe that's just what we're calling that transition, if that makes any sense, So that's what they're looking at. Well, what happens? The body dies. Well, yeah, the physical body dies, if you want to call it that, if you want to call that death. And yeah, death does exist, But I think we're going on a different, deeper level.
Right. When the soul is through with the physical form that it's inhabited, it drops it wherever it is.
That's right.
There are no mistakes in life. There are no accidents in life. No coincidences. Yeah, we have to realize that nothing could happen without that great divine energy's allowance or not allowance of something.
Get you thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic, Daphne. If you want to, go ahead and read this comment that this person had posted, and then we'll kind of get different perspectives of what other people were saying about death. And the question is, is death real? Or does death exist? Or is there death? Or is there no death? Or what is death? So that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on today from different perspectives.
Yes, most definitely. Okay, so it says, there is no death, only a transition into a different state of consciousness.
Okay.
I have so many books going through my mind right now that I have read on this particular statement. But let's see what the people who have had these experiences, what they have to say, because they have had a walk in that side and have come back to share those experiences with us. So let's see what they have to say.
Sounds good. Well, this first person commented here says that the body does die. However, the soul, or you, what we call you, the soul, lives on.
Spirit continues on. Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, Daphne, let's go ahead and start with some comments. That pretty much kind of sets it up right there. Would you like to comment on that first comment?
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing that, the physical form will cease to exist. However, you, that little alien that's up inside your head, your body, that spirit, that soul, that energy, that is what's animating the physical form, the avatar, if you will. I mean, the car, the vehicle, whatever you want to call this physical form, you are inhabiting it. You are that great divine spark of the divine. So you will continue on. Nothing can harm you in any form or fashion because you are spirit. You are soul.
Energy, source, all, yeah, you're
Yes.
alive. Part of that all. Now, let's kind of tag this next comment with this one because they kind of go to, well, actually they do go together. There's no kind of to it, and it says here that it is true. But they said that's similar to the transition from the womb to the arms of our mothers.
Right.
You
You
know,
didn't change who you were. You just transformed where you were at.
yeah, into a different
A
form,
different realm.
a different realm, and different, yeah,
Yeah.
get you thinking.
It sure will.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, Daphne.
Sure. It says energy never dies. It has to go somewhere. This theory, as well as reincarnation, make total sense if you believe in science.
Okay. We hear this a lot. Yeah, this is proven science and physics and all that good quantum
Metaphysics.
stuff. Yeah, energy never dies.
Right.
It has to go somewhere.
It just transforms.
Yeah, it can only go somewhere. This theory, as well as reincarnation, makes total sense if you believe in the science. Well, the science does back it up. So it's up to you whether you want to believe in it or not. That's your personal choice. We all have to respect and love each other for who we are,
No matter what our beliefs.
and not let our beliefs get into each other's way or in harm's way, harming each other, harming ourselves, harming others. You have to be careful of that stuff. But keep in mind, yeah, and if you are energy,
Yes,
you can see how this makes
exactly.
sense. The body will die. It's made of matter. It'll go back to the ground it came from. If you want to use a biblical perspective, the Bible says that that body goes back to the ground. Dust you are, dust you return, and that spirit goes back to its maker.
Right. I
I
think
mean, the
it's
Bible does tell you this. Now we got to talk about pre-Christian before the church came in and started when they created, Christianity and what we call modern day, fundamentalistic Christianity, which is a religion. It's really got nothing to do with, with spirituality in the truest sense. But it's made up of lots of beautiful souls that are seeking their spiritual side. But like
yes.
everything, there's the dark side too.
Yeah,
And to me, God is not dark. So, just saying.
just saying, yeah. No, that transformation from here to there, like you had mentioned, taking it to scripture, absent in the body is present with the Lord.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's that transformation from here to the spiritual realm.
Yeah. You will be. I mean, it's really who you are. It's who we all are. And I was thinking, I read some of these comments earlier, and the challenge I have with a lot of these comments is after a while they kind of get into these little micro debates and stuff, and it's like, oh well, time to close the page and go on about my business.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no sense in all that.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to this next one, Daphne. It's a little winded here. It says that I believe that people who have had near-death experiences, many of them doctors, who are reacting in a completely different way to all of this. I myself had a few out-of-body experiences, and they are totally different from dreams and so amazing. But of course, you are entitled to not believe in anything. I used to be like that, and my life is so much better now because it makes sense that we are spirits living in a human body. We came from somewhere, and we will be going back home someday.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. This resonates with me. I mean, we have to realize that we have to put aside our belief that this physical body, this story of our life, this play that we're living and a movie that we're watching and
Playing in.
reflecting back on, we have to remember that this is not who we are. It is our physical form only. We are that soul that is eternal.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why so many people, when they have these experiences, they say, it was like going back home. And we are from that place, so because we are eternal. And when we return back there, we know that's home. We have to remember that on this side.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's the game, isn't it? It's trying to remember.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, would you like to take the next one, please?
The reason we generally don't know this is that we don't know ourselves. We don't explore the nature of our own being. We don't realize we are not the body. The body changes over time, but I, quote unquote, that is aware of it remains. Thoughts come and I am aware of them. Thoughts pass, but I remain. Awareness, is the constant throughout, and when explored, we realize that awareness is boundless, aware, living, and eternal.
I like the way this person put that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like those thoughts that come and go. I mean, you still are there. You still are present.
Yeah. Like it says, the body changes over time, but I still remain. I'm still aware. And I like Dr. Wayne Dyer, his the way he would used to kind of present it in different ways, but he would ask the question, you know, when you were that little child,
oh yes,
little toddler running around, you know, who was that, you know, or who is that?
Right. Yeah, I was thinking the same
Then
thing.
it goes to like the teenage years and adult,
the different
and keeps
phases
going
of
up,
life.
you know?
Yeah.
Who are you? You know, who are you? That's what I think that's what it's built on. He asked the question, who are you?
You're still that same being.
Yeah. You're still the same awareness, the same I. The I is the I am. That's the what we call God.
Yes.
That's the source, you know. But the physical, how many transformations have you been through in your life?
Yeah.
I've been through thousands. You know, I'm in my almost 60. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so I've seen quite a few myself. You know, and yeah, it's but I still am I. You know, I still am who I am. I'm still have that awareness, and that's what I think the main thing we get from a lot of the near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences and all these different experiences is that there is that awareness. You know, they can come out of their body and there is an awareness. Okay,
Of the physical form.
Right. So if there is an awareness that's above, say, the operating table, looking down over a body and watching doctors, I'm just throwing it out there because it happens a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, this happens in all kind of different ways. We know that. But the point is, for the example, you know, that shows you right there, there is an awareness. There is a consciousness. Well, this consciousness, guys, is what we call you. And this is what we call God, okay? Because it's source, it's energy, okay?
Yes.
It's what we're all made of, and it's where we're all going back to, is my understanding. So,
Most definitely.
you know. Okay, any more comments?
Not on that one, thank you.
I like that, though. It says, you know, all things are going to change, but the I, that awareness, is what goes on.
Yes.
You know. So, next person says here that no one alive knows what happens when we die. Okay, this is true. Just because you say you know does not mean you know. But if it makes people feel better, believing that they know all the answers, let them believe it. Okay, that's a good perspective. I understand it. The truth is, nobody knows, you know. However, you know, we do have a lot of experiences that can tip the scales in, you know, more directions, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But the point is, yeah, the truth is nobody knows, and we won't know until we truly cross over to that other realm, you know.
Right.
But I think there are many ways that people go close, or get near, if you want to call it that, like near-death experiences, out of body. I mean, this stuff is real. You cannot deny that.
Right. And this comment really reminds me of the Conversations with God books, because it does state that those who have had near-death experiences have only tasted to see the bliss, the joy, the love that is on the other side.
Oh my God.
You know, so that what these people are experiencing is what happens on the other side.
You know, and the beauty with these experiences is total bliss. And what you're saying this total mind-blowing bliss that is, unexplainable in human terms, indescribable for lack of words. It's just a little grain of sand on what's actually going to be on the other side.
Yeah.
Think about that, because to me, the near-death experiencers, and to them, there's nothing like that experience they had. Like, that was the real life. That was home. That was love. That was God. That was connection. That was real, you see? Mm-hmm. If what they are experiencing at a near-death level is that type of realness and bliss,
right?
Wow. Could you imagine what's going to happen
when you do?
When you really do transition
really
over?
Shed the body. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good point. And that was what in Neil's book, the Conversations with God book?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Get you thinking.
Oh, yeah. And throughout the books, I mean, it talks about just the near-death experiences that these people really are getting a glimpse into that next phase of life.
You hear that, guys? A glimpse. If a glimpse is mind-blowing bliss, what is a full experience going to be like?
Right.
Because these NDEers are already having these full mind-blowing experiences that so totally blows this realm away.
Right, yeah. And in the Conversations book, the divine essence, I'm going to call it, the source energy, God, whatever title you want to give to that great being that all that is, states that our death day, if you want to call it death day.
Yeah. Transition day.
It should be looked at as a continuance day.
Yeah. Or your birthday in your next realm, just like you had a birthday into this realm.
Yeah, a continuance day, because you continue on.
Each transition would be a new birth, wouldn't it? In a sense.
Yeah.
Into a new life, Or do you go back to original form, and then from there can go out into a different life? It's awesome. And really, really start thinking about it. And it's nothing like we humans can even comprehend. It's not. We've all been indoctrinated, and we've got our little, what a fraction of the potentiality of our brains. I had a guy tell me the other day, we only use 10% of our brain. Well, not exactly. I hope not. I hope you use 100% of it. We might.
Right.
That's kind of scary, to be around people. Well, I only use 10%. No, guys, we use a small percentage of our potentiality. Okay, we use all of our brains. Okay, some use them more than others, and it takes time. It's like a muscle; you got to work it. But that's the point. It's just our potential. Nobody's really putting in that full. What if you used 100% of the brain's potential?
Ooh.
And look at what man has already created with their brains, and even in the modern world.
That right there shows that we are
gods.
Thank you. I was
True.
getting there. That's exactly what I was going to say. Gods, because throughout the Conversations book, it states that you are a creator. You are a God. You create your world, your reality.
Exactly.
Your life in this realm. Look around at the room that you're sitting in. Whether you're using someone else's idea, thought that came into the material world, that is being creator. That is being God creating something.
Yeah. And it was revealed to me that, here's what you've got to understand, guys. Number one, you are God. Number two, you are a God. Okay? And what that means is, one, you are God means that we all have that. You have a divine, what we call the divine spark, of
yes.
God. We have that little bitty spark of us created in the image of, I guess for lack of words, but just being a part of God.
An individuation of God.
Yeah, we're our individuation of God. I like that. So, and then you are a God, which means you have the ability to create your world.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. And how? Well, with your thoughts. Your thoughts, emotions. I mean, there's combinations of things, but the point is, like Daphne said, look around. Okay? Everything you see started in someone's mind. All creation is a two-form process. Everything starts in the spirit world.
Which is mine.
Which is mine. All is mine. And it's what we call thought. So you have your thought, okay? And once you feed that thought with the proper focus, the proper visualization, manifestation, energy, the the practice, the devotion, the discipline, and whatever it takes, or however you want to look at it, the truth is you are a creator. Therefore,
Yes.
you are a God.
Yes.
Why? Because you are God. You have that little bitty spark of that greatness that's out there,
That
that's everywhere,
individuation.
that's all things. Yeah,
Yeah, most
an
definitely.
individual expression. I like that.
Yeah, and that's why we so have to be aware of our thoughts, our words that we speak, because they are alive, they are entities, they are beings that manifest through our words.
Both good and bad.
Exactly. That's why we have to watch that tongue,
Yep.
watch our thoughts, because if we get caught up in
Negative.
worry and strife or whatever, fear or love or whatever, that's why you have to be very mindful of your thoughts and your words, because it can become reality.
Absolutely. Yeah, never underestimate the power of your thoughts. Yeah, moving on along. Would you take the next one, Daphne?
There is no proof, but there is a good bit of evidence that the brain is not the source of consciousness, and that consciousness continues after the body and brain cease functioning. Of course, near-death experiencers need no proof. They already have it, and to them, telling them what they experienced wasn't real is akin to telling them water won't make you wet.
Okay. Yeah, I get this. That's that talk versus experience. We
Yes.
we see that in a lot of the forums, a lot of the groups and stuff. That, like I said, it turns into those little micro debates and battles, and it's usually from a religious,
Dogma.
yeah, more dogmatic, And then the NDEers will chime in. Well, it's different once you've had that experience on the other side. Once you have this experience, you can relate a little bit more than what these NDEers are trying to say, Whereas you have other people come in that's never had an NDE, never had this experience, never had an out-of-body experience, but they are so indoctrinated and so ingrained. I'm not questioning their love for God or Jesus. That's not what this is about.
Right.
We're talking about when things become dogmatic ideology and theology and things like that. Now we have an issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with people coming in and sharing their experience, seeing Jesus. I love Jesus. I believe in all this. This is real to me,
Right.
But I have a different understanding of what Christ is and what Christ's consciousness is and what all that really means and who Jesus was,
Right.
So, but that's the point, you don't really know. And like this person says here, there's really no proof, but there's lots of evidence that, consciousness goes beyond the physical body. Even people being hooked up to machines where the brain itself loses all activity, the body shuts down, I guess, in a sense, and they're just hooked up on machines or whatever,
Right.
And it says that even though that brain was dead, these people still have these conscious experiences. So it shows you that there's no connection there. It's connected, but consciousness is above the brain.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Of course, yeah. And from these near-death experiences, us trying to say, well, that wasn't real, it's not going to affect them in any way because they already know what they've experienced. It's like this person brings out, telling them that water won't make them wet. We know water causes wetness. So,
Exactly.
telling somebody their experience wasn't real, you will never in a million years of every day talking 24/7 convince this person that they did not experience something that was very real to them.
That's right. And that's the difference between knowing and thinking.
Right.
Most people who are just Bible readers or just, Quran readers or just any kind of just readers, if they're putting into practice love or practice is something that brings them together with humanity and closer to oneness, like we always say, that's a good thing, But if you're doing something that's separating things, that's not good,
Right.
So we really just have to be careful with all that.
Most definitely.
This next one says that Indian saints believe in the afterlife and rebirth. Some people can remember their past lives. There is no question of disbelief in this regard. Comments?
Very true, very true. We call it past, but it's just life. It's continuations. A lot of people say it's parallel lives, and that there is no past, there is no present, everything is now. So we have a lot of different views on that, and from our experiences as well. So whatever you believe in is what you believe in. I mean, who is anybody to try to convince you otherwise?
Yeah. And also when you, like it says here, the Indian saints believe in afterlife and rebirth, you can understand the actual influences that India had on Yeshua when he was making his travels down in India and all that area. Afterlife was very big in his teachings.
Yes.
Rebirth, born again, resurrection.
Yeah.
He believed in reincarnation. In fact, he called it recycling, reincarnation, rebirth. But that's what that means, guys. It's not. The born again, for example, is more of a spiritual transformation here, but really having to die in this world, and you're going to have to be born again when you transition over. There's a lot more to that. What these guys were really referring to, but they believed in the afterlife, and rebirth and reincarnation. But that's not what the Bible says because, well, that's for a different episode.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Would you like to take the next one?
Sure. It says nobody knows what happens when we die. I think it is arrogant to suggest that you have the answers.
Okay, that's a good perspective. There are people who feel that way out there, and I totally understand, and I can totally relate. And the very truth of all of it, nobody knows. We're supposed to know, but do we really know what happens, Like I said, we have experiences that can dictate otherwise, but do we really, really know? No, nobody knows. No, I wouldn't think. A lot of people think they know. A lot of people have experiences, but nobody really knows. But I know that all people will know. Everybody will know.
And that's, I take it back to a couple of comments back where, you try to tell an experiencer that they don't know what happens on the other side when they experienced it.
Well, yeah, they know they've had an experience.
They know they've had an experience. So it's like telling them,
right.
Water don't make you wet. So you got both sides.
Exactly.
Those that say that, no, this is what happens. I know, I experienced it.
But they don't know what happens after death. That's the point. Nobody knows what happens after death. Did people have these near-death experiences? Absolutely. 1,000% agreed. But who knows what happens afterwards? That's this person's point. If you say, I know exactly, then prove it. And how can you prove it? You can't. You see? So you got to understand from that perspective that, do people have near-death experience? Absolutely, 1,000. I agree with it. I believe in it. I spend a lot of my time in life studying this stuff, but do we know what happens on the other side? If what happens in the near-death experiences is a taste of that, then we can get a good idea. Absolutely. We can get those glimpses, like you said earlier. We can get those glimpses of that glory, that bliss, that heaven, and if that experience is an experience, it's a reality, and it becomes a knowing, they know they've had this experience,
Mm-hmm.
If this experience is real to the point where this is what happens after death, then why not just carry that same experience on over? I mean, really,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And if you claim that like I always say, you'll soon find yourself shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. You cannot make an all-knowing claim regardless of who you are, regardless of what you've experienced. Did you have an experience? Absolutely. Do you know you had an experience? Absolutely. Do you know what happens when it lights out or cut the cord or shut it off or transition? No. You don't know. Can you assume or can you speculate or can you hope or can you want that near-death experience that was bliss to be that reality that we all go over? God, I would. I know I would. I hope I think that would be awesome. And I believe it because I do share those beliefs of the NDEers. I'm more on, for that team that, it is bigger, better, bliss, life, love. That's what I share. But I'm also, I don't know, so.
Yeah.
This person here says that we are more than just earth-bound humans. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So take it how you want. The body dies, we don't. And you hear this a lot, spiritual beings having that human experience.
Most definitely, yeah.
I believe that. I believe there is so much more than this body, That's that what we were talking about earlier, that you, that's inside that vessel.
Consciousness, yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yep. So anyway, next one, Miss Daphne, would you take that one, please?
To me, death is a process separated of body and soul. It's like the process of changing caterpillars to butterflies. We will be leaving our clothes that we're using to make our character on the track before. In new life there, a soul will be responsible to answer whatever we have done before. Be good and do good to others. Don't worry, all will be okay.
Okay. So death is a process where the body and soul separate, according to this person. Mm-hmm. That's what we call death. So in that sense, does death exist? If that's what you want to call that experience, then absolutely. Does the body die? Yeah, I would say,
The physical does.
Yeah.
It's just a vessel. It's a vehicle. All vehicles, mechanical, have to fail at some time. You have to keep up the maintenance on them. Yeah. And at some point, they're just going to give up.
Yeah. And they'll start falling apart. Once they start falling apart, it's like one thing after another starts falling apart. It's like the old cars.
That's right. And we have to remember we are so much more than that vessel.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, moving on along. Physics tells me that energy never dies. It's scientifically proven and real. We live because of energy. What do you suppose happens to our energy when we pass? It doesn't die, ever. There are scientists who study this. There are other sources. Energy is never destroyed. It transitions from state to state.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, everything is energy. Even inanimate objects, if you put them under Kirlian photography cameras, you can see the energy of them. So everything is energy.
It is. And once you learn that, then things start making a lot more sense than what they,
Oh, most definitely.
used to. Well, listen, we've got time for one more, Daphne. Let's go ahead and read this last one here real quick, and I guess we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Looks like we got time for another one right here. This last one, the final one, says that you cannot convince those who have never had an out-of-body experience that there are different states of consciousness. But once you have actually died and left your body, okay, you never fear death again, and no one will believe you anyway. I like that. It's true. People are going to believe what they want to believe. I mean, really.
Most definitely. And that's what we talk about, the resonating. If something resonates, if you want to call it, it makes sense to me, just whatever term you want to give it.
Resonates.
That's what I call it myself, yeah. If it resonates within your being, it's truth. When it resonates, you cannot convince someone otherwise that it's not true.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the beauty of the NDEs, because to me they're all in harmony. It's personalized, it's individualized for that person's, spirituality, but it's so in harmony and it so resonates with life, the afterlife. You can explain and fill in so many different holes and blanks and things like that once you start looking into it and it makes sense that you just keep, life does go on.
Once you can release those fears of the afterlife, if you want to call it afterlife, life is life, it continues on. But it releases those fears and you can live fully in the now. The here, the now, this very moment, the rest of your days, without that fear of condemnation from the programs that we've been programmed with.
Not just that, living in the now is the only place you can live. Too many people live in the future, what doesn't exist is only in your head. People live in the past, it doesn't exist, it's only in your head, guys. It's only now. When you grasp the concept of now, you were born now. You eat right now. You drink right now.
The eternal now.
You die right now. Anything you do is going to be now. It's all that exists, guys. The future is in your head. So is the past, So what this means is, like all these greats teach, get out of your head. Get into the now. And when you can get into the now, you can think. You can be more in tune with your spirit. The spirit lives in the now, dwells in the now. That's where your meditations come in handy. Calm that monkey mind.
Yes.
And get a hold of your mind and your thoughts, and control your thoughts. If not, guess what? They're going to control you.
Right.
Don't think they won't. And where do your thoughts come from? If they don't come from you, guess what? They're getting implanted, guys. Your thoughts are implanted from everything from cell phones, multimedia, videos, television, radios, anything you take in. Okay, you are taking in thoughts. Okay, and you are being programmed. All right, so don't ever think that you've even got your own thoughts, because most people don't. Unless you are a master and you have been enlightened and have mastered the art of you, then you're only fooling yourself. So there's a lot to learn. There's a lot for all of us to grow. And as long as you're growing and striving towards knowing, which we all one day will, we don't in this realm, but we will one day.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to look forward to.
I like the way you said that about growing, because I can remember now in my life, I feel like I'm growing, like I have purpose.
Yep.
Throughout just about my entirety of my life, I have felt I didn't know my purpose. What's my purpose here? I just felt stagnant, that I was not being fulfilled. I was not growing. Now, having learned about these NDEs, the different points of view that each one of them have that are so in harmony, I feel that I'm growing. I feel like I can love so much more. It's just, I feel fulfilled and that I have purpose. And I live without being in fear of things like I did when I was in the past. Yeah.
Whole different mindset. It is. It really is a whole different realm. Well, I tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And don't forget to go to the website. That's NDE.world. And we'll see you guys over there. More information, all the good stuff we do and all that cool stuff. So anyway, again, that's NDE.world. And we want to thank you all for taking the time and tuning in with us today and hanging out and, kind of checking out all these different perspectives. And that's all it is. We all have our own beliefs. So these are just different perspectives to kind of, maybe broaden your own belief system. When you really start looking into this stuff, you'll see that I'm going to have to go with the school that says, life goes on. I think, me personally, but that's just my belief.
Yeah, me too.
I know some people believe that it ends right there. When we die, that's it. There's lots of comments that say that as well. I know personally people who believe that. When you close your eyes in this realm, that's it. But I'm with the school that, no, it goes on. We go on, and life goes on. There's no such thing as death.
Life is life. It continues on.
Yeah, yeah. And those who have, unfortunately, had the illusion or experienced the illusion of, one of our loved ones transitioning before us, when you come to the understanding that, hey, nobody dies, energy transforms, and that we all are bigger in this game we call life. And that reassurance that we all will regroup with our family, our friends, our team, however you want to look at it, that resonates with me. It really does. And it also resonates with the God of love.
Yeah, and death is, quote unquote, the doorway to life.
Doorway to life.
Yes.
Beautifully said. That's the way you want to look at it, guys. Keep that in mind. Death is the doorway to life. There you go. There's your nugget for the day. So any final words, Miss Daphne?
Yes. Just a little reminder for you guys, or a heads up, should I say. This month we have several guest appearances, so be on the lookout for those episodes this month. We have several coming up, so we're looking forward to that.
Awesome.
And we appreciate everyone, stepping forward to
share
their experience. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. So exciting. We love you all so much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. May peace be with you all. Until next time.
Y'all let your light shine.
Hello, you beautiful souls. Don't forget to visit the website, NDE.world. That is
NDE.world.